All right, good evening, everybody. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me okay. We'll go ahead and start our live coverage here on this beautiful Monday evening. Current time on your screen is 7:19 p.m. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for a couple counties here. Before we dive in, we're going to set up the stream as well as make sure it appears our automated warnings for our page are down currently. So that means I have to go to NWS and grab that graphic and manually post that. If one of the guys is watching this, they could handle those, please, and thank you. But in terms of the stream, we are set up. We are ready to rock and roll here. So, severe thunderstorm warning in effect just issued from the Weather Service out of Grand Rapids. Hazards, or first and foremost, counties are northern Van Buren as well as all of Allegan County. Hazard with this, we're looking at winds up to 60 miles per hour. And then there is a tag for a possible tornado here. And that is because there has been a confirmed waterspout offshore moving on to land. Now, it's not confirmed on land yet, but it could move on to land if that does continue from the lake. So, current population affected is 142,000 people. Again, this expires in an hour, issued 3 minutes ago. 60-mile-per-hour winds, as well as a tornado possible here, all of Allegan County, as well as the northern half of Van Buren counties. County. All right, let's go ahead and look at the chat here. Make sure you guys can hear me. Thumbs up, awesome. Thank you, guys. Chat is good. Audio is good. All right, this storm is just moving on to land here. Douglas, Ganges, as well as South Haven, moving toward Fenville, Lee, Bloomingdale, Breedsville, Allegan, Overijssel, Hopkins, Dorr, Wayland, and Martin, as well as Plainwell areas. This storm is moving to the east, a little bit north as well. There's your animation as that storm progressed over the lake and the warning was issued, mostly east, as well as a little bit north with this track. You can kind of see on your screen as well, the white lines there are your tracks. We are seeing that moving to the east here at roughly, I'll go ahead and take a look at the text once again, moving east at 40 miles per hour. So a good clip here. That puts in Allegan and Overijssel here in about 20 or so minutes. And then Dorr, Wayland, and Plainwell looking probably closer to 40 minutes or so, 30 to 40 minutes if this continues to the east. This is the only warning in the state currently. Now, we do expect numerous storms to pop up between now and around midnight. So this is not going to be the only storms of the day. So we are expecting more. Potential is there for more severe weather. Now, there was no threat today per the SPC for severe, but if you caught our forecast, we felt there was a threat for some wind, perhaps even a brief tornado as well. So with that said, we're going to be watching closely here throughout the evening hours. So this is your first warning of the day. Now, if we go north up here to northern lower, we do have a statement in effect up here. And these storms up here aren't looking too bad either. And what I mean by that is they could become strong, if not severe here. In fact, this one right here, just south of Goodar, is having a good hail core with it. So with that said, we could see a little bit more severe weather this evening, and these storms would be mainly a hail risk up here in Ogama and Iosco, as well as Alcona counties. So keep an eye on that. Currently, statement is in effect for nickel size hail, which is just below severe limits. So again, severe limits is quarter size or larger. Nickel falls just under that criteria. So we'll see if that becomes stronger, and if it does, we'll see if it gets warned here by NWS up in Gaylord. In the meantime, checking out the velocity here, these storms do have some velocity, indicating that the winds could definitely be a little bit stronger in nature. You can see it progress here, a little bit of a brighter green. That's your wind core, so to speak. That's the heaviest of winds. It definitely peaked here just offshore between Ganges and South Haven, and it then moved onto shore here right around 196, just north of Shorecrest, Glen Shores, and Spring Grove area. Looking at 114th Avenue and 196, that general area is where the heaviest of winds, according to radar, moved on to land. That continues to progress to the east northeast here. Fenville's on deck. Excuse me, Allegan State Game Area, as well as Allegan and Hopkins is on deck for this as well. Wayland and Dorr got a few minutes, got a while actually before it gets to you, but it is heading your direction. If it holds its strength, we'll have to keep a close eye on that. Again, severe warning in effect, Allegan County, all of Allegan, and the northern part of Van Buren counties until what appears to be 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. So about 50 more minutes on this warning. Go ahead and pop that back out. Take a zoomed out look. We have more cells popping up over Lake Michigan. Those as well as further south. We're expecting a bit of a bigger line to move through as we move toward the 8, 9, 10 p.m. hours. If I go and switch this over to some of the models here to kind of play the models through, this is what it could look like here throughout the evening. So we're seeing that storm that becomes severe here. We're going to see that kind of progress eastward, but then more storms pop up to the north as well as to the south here. So good news is we're going to get rain throughout the evening and overnight hours. The bad news is a couple of these storms may become strong or perhaps severe across central and southern Michigan throughout the evening. So we'll be keeping a close eye on things as the evening progresses. Will these lessen as they move? Not really. We're seeing the same ingredients kind of now that we're going to see all throughout the evening. So storms will behave as they want to. They may strengthen, they may weaken, but overall, there's no trend we're leaning towards. We're going to see an increase in coverage. That's a trend that we can confirm and what we think is going to happen. But these storms should hold their strength quite well throughout the evening. It's not going to be a widespread severe event, but isolated to scattered storms that become strong, definitely a possibility throughout the evening. Grand Rapids area is going to get some rain here shortly. The heaviest of these storms looks to stay south of downtown, but if you're down by Kentwood or Gaines, you may get some heavier rain here, the northern part of that storm as it progresses to the northeast. They are moving to the east northeast. There's your animation as that progresses further to the east. It's mostly east with a little bit of a northward movement there. Those white lines on your screen do indicate the direction of travel here. So they're moving pretty much, I would say probably, I don't have a vector on this. I can probably get a vector on this. We're looking at, they're saying mainly due east, but there's a bit of a northern movement in there. This is all of Allegan and northern Van Buren counties. Got some rain moving in up here in the Holland area, down there at the bottom left of your screen. I know Drew was out. Drew is out currently in the South Haven area. I'm going to check our chasers just to make sure that I'm not missing anybody who is out. Currently nobody. I'm going to leave Drew up there in the top right of the screen just in case he decides to connect. I do know that he is out and about in South Haven area. So again, this is going to be a severe warning in effect, 60-mile-per-hour winds, as well as a tornado possible tag. The possible tag for a tornado was issued due to a confirmed waterspout that was spotted offshore of South Haven. And if that were to move on to land, that would become a tornadic waterspout. Gun Lake, you got a little bit of time yet, probably another hour or so for you, 45 minutes or so to an hour. East northeast at 40 or so, give or take, miles per hour, and that's good enough to get it over to the 131 corridor here in about 40 to 45 minutes to an hour. So these are the only severe storms in the state currently. The east side is completely clear of storms. We do have some stronger storms up here in Ogama, Iosco, as well as Alcona counties. Could get some nice hail with these storms up here. However, it looks like the latest couple of scans here has really lessened the hail cores on these. I'm going to try and check on the vertically integrated liquid. There's your hail tracker. We're going to see the hail tracker definitely strongest on this cell just to the east of Rose City. Got a little bit of a core up here just south of Glenny. But overall, these are looking pretty tame for the most part at the current moment. We'll see if that continues. That statement's in effect for nickel size hail for you guys up there in Ogama and Iosco counties. Yeah, the harvest moon is on the eastern horizon. If you guys want to go look at it, it is a full moon tonight. It'll reach its full technicality by 11:49 p.m. tonight. So it's pretty close to being completely full right now. Thank you, Heavenly Star, for becoming a member. Says this channel is the best. Thank you for that, and welcome to the team. Or should I say, welcome back to the team? I see month number 4 there. So thank you for sticking around with us. It is pouring in Holland. Yes, yes, it is. Should we be worried in Battle Creek at all tonight? So there is potential. Go ahead and zoom back out for you guys. Take this menu down and pop open the model again. So if we zoom forward into the advance here, we're going to see storms are going to move. There's your current storm. This is a model. This isn't live radar. This is a model. So as we push this into about 10 p.m. to midnight or so, we're going to see an increase of storm coverage throughout the evening. This is at 10 o'clock. Here's 11. Here's midnight. And that will continue to increase as the night goes on. A couple of these could be strong or perhaps severe in nature. For the most part, Battle Creek stays dry according to the model, but this will eventually push its way east and south. So eventually you will get something. It's just, it's not a very high chance of severe weather, but I wouldn't let your guard down, especially later on this evening. Should the thumb worry? If you live in South Central Michigan tonight, you have a chance of a stronger storm or two. And I would say that includes the thumb. I think the highest chances really are Central and Southern Michigan. If I had a draw tool on here, I would draw it out for you. I think I can get it. There we go. So if I could draw it out for you guys, I would say anywhere from this general vicinity has the best potential tonight for a stronger storm or two. I would really key in on this area right about here. Thank you, Red Dozer, for the super chat. Says, now that the guarding is over for the season, let the rain commence. Red Dozer and us have been kind of playfully bantering back and forth all year long with how bad the crops and the drought has been over on the west side of the state. And now that growing season's over, we're going to get rain. So make it, go figure. Thank you, Red, for that. And that does make a whole lot of sense of why we're getting rain. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. Let's check out our velocity again. This storm does have a tag on it for a possible tornado. Although on velocity, I do not see anything rotating, which is good news. Backing this storm up, we did see that the velocity was much heavier, much brighter over Lake Michigan. And as it moved on to shore, it did weaken out. And it could be still gusty, but the brighter velocity has subsided. I'm going to pop open Consumers Energy Outage Map just to kind of keep a close eye on that and see if there's anything coming in. And there currently is no outages with this storm as of right now. We are clear from Saugatuck down to South Haven, which is really good. I would say the strongest part of the storm is going to be over Fenville and Douglas area, as well as down by Lee. We're going to pop Aaron on the screen as well. Aaron is out chasing as we speak. So we're going to pop Drew and Aaron on just in case they want to pop on with us. I don't want to miss them. So they'll pop in the top right corner there if they do go live. In the meantime, though, bottom left of your screen is our newest weather camera installed in Kalamazoo County. This is going to be near the Scotts area, courtesy of WT Forestry. It's about 150 feet up on a tower. Looking to the west, we can see the storms on the distance there, but nothing definitive at this time. Backing out, we have a couple other cameras in the vicinity. We have one in Allegan. We have one in Douglas as well. The Douglas camera right on Lake Michigan at the Rosemont Inn is just getting some heavier rain currently. They're looking to the west. No, not much wind, not much rain at all, actually. So it's on the backside of that storm. And then we do have the Allegan County camera as well at Cole Concrete. This is probably going to be the closest camera to us and to the storm. So we're going to leave that up in the bottom left corner. We're going to watch that as the storm moves across Allegan County. That is our closest camera. Should we be worried in Bangor, Michigan? The answer is this time would be no, not from this storm. Bangor is a bit south. Thank you, Donna, for month number 15. Says, thank you for all you guys do. Appreciate you as well, Donna. Bangor, currently you are down here, and you are all clear at the current moment. Taking a peek back in the Illinois area, there is our line developing. This will continue to develop and push its way east-northeastward. That's what's going to head our way in the coming hours. Aaron has now joined us in the top right of your screen. He is going to be in the Grand Rapids, just south of Grand Rapids area, like Byron Center, Grand Rapids area, that 131 corridor. This storm is heading his direction. Probably going to go a bit to his south. So he may shoot south. Looks like he says he's going to get in front of it on 131. So it looks like he will be heading south on 131 to get in front of the storm. It did have a nice shelf cloud over Lake Michigan when Drew was sending pictures in. If you want to see that picture of the shelf cloud, is on our page, posted probably like 30 to 45 minutes ago. It was a beautiful storm. As of right now, though, I'm not sure what it looks like. What's up, Josiah? The Allegan camera is located in Allegan. So it's right in the, I'm not going to say exactly where it is, but it's right in Allegan somewhere. There is a very low chance tonight, not impossible, but a very low chance that storms may decide to try to rotate. We have enough wind shear, enough spin there to warrant some attention, but we don't have the thermodynamics, the instability, the storm fuel, the moisture. We don't have all that working together in conjunction with that wind shear. So we have a little bit of instability and we have a lot of shear. So we'll see what happens with these storms. It's not impossible to get storms to rotate in the environment we have. It's just not likely, if that makes sense. East side of the state is all clear. You do have storms possible overnight tonight as the evening progresses. The only other area in Michigan that is getting any type of weather is northern lower over here in Iosco and Alcona counties near Mankato, as well as over here toward Goodar, heading toward the Wilbur Oscoda Airport area. Got some hail cores on these, not severe currently, could be producing up to dime, perhaps nickel size hail at most. Also up here, we have a couple cells over by the Hillman area, as well as one down here by Lovells. And otherwise, we have a couple pop-up showers down by Harrison, up here by Lake City and Pioneer. Those are nothing to write home about. This warning continues for the cell over in Allegan County. It is moving into Overijssel, heading toward the M40 corridor into Allegan in about 5 to 10 minutes. The storm is progressing east-northeast at 40 miles per hour, 60-mile-per-hour winds is the main hazard, followed by a potential tornado. The good news with this storm is on your velocity, I do not see anything rotating, so I would not guess there is anything on the ground. Looking at the debris tracker, I do not see anything on that either. So far, so good with this storm. I'm in Plainwell right now, calm here, not too much cloud cover yet. Yeah, you got a little bit of ways here before it impacts you. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked if this actually goes to your north on a current trajectory. This is moving pretty much to the northeast, so it could miss Plainwell. Although I will say, and I will point out that if you look closely, there's a bit of a line coming out of the storms. That is likely an outflow boundary. That may be a focus for more development further south here toward, we're going to say like Pine Grove, Paw Paw, perhaps Hartford areas and points to the south. That may produce enough lift to get some extra storms up and going to the south of this current storm. We'll have to watch that a little bit carefully and see how that progresses, if that is an outflow boundary, which it does appear to be. Thank you, Kalamazoo Candy, for the live coverage, and the super chat says thank you for the live coverage. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate your support of the channel. Heaviest of this storm it looks like it is heading toward the M40 corridor very shortly. It is just past Fenville. Zooming into the road network here, we're looking at 130th Avenue there, and this was going to be 52nd Street. That is the general vicinity of where I think the heaviest of the storm is. That's where the heaviest DBZ is. And looks like we have some lightning taking shape on the Allegan camera off to the west-northwest, which makes some sense. Considering the camera is located in Allegan, it's picking up on the storm moving across its screen. The warning on this Allegan cell continues until 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. That means it'll expire in about a half hour. Now, NWS has a decision to extend it, or should I say continue it, or they could cancel it early if they think it did weaken enough, which this storm does appear to be quite weak in nature versus what it was. What I mean by that is we're tracking the winds on the storm. There is some gusty winds in there, and you can see that highlighted here in the little bit brighter greens we're seeing with this area here heading toward the M40 corridor. But if we back this up and move this over to what it was on Lake Michigan, you're going to see that brighter color here. Go ahead and pause that right there. There's your peak velocity. That's when the winds were close to 50 to 60 miles per hour. As that moved on to land, they warned it, and then it pretty much petered out and looks pretty weak in nature. I'd say wind gusts on radar at least 30 to 40 miles per hour. Wouldn't be shocked if there's isolated stronger ones scattered throughout there, but what appears to be on radar is roughly 30 to 40. Will Ann Arbor get any storms tonight? I think a good majority of us in South Central Michigan will get rain and or storms tonight. From now until the morning, you're likely going to get some kind of precipitation. That applies, I think, for pretty much all of us. Checking out the Allegan camera. English is hard tonight. Taking a peek at the Cole Concrete camera in Allegan. There we go. That's a little bit smoother. On the left side of your screen, if you pay attention to by that bigger tree there, you're going to see some lightning eventually. That is the direction the storm is in. It'll move across the screen here as it does so. Is KZoo going to get anything? I'll repeat that again. I think anybody south central Michigan, anywhere from the Ohio Indiana border up to Mount Pleasant or so, I think we're all going to be all in for some rain, perhaps a couple storms overnight tonight between now and the morning hours of Tuesday. There we go. There's some nice lightning coming in. There is potential that a couple storms could be strong, if not severe, throughout the evening, and that applies pretty much region wide. So again, it doesn't matter if you're in Flint or Lansing or Kalamazoo or Jackson. I think everybody has an equal chance at seeing a stronger storm tonight. Immediate threat, though, is going to be Allegan County. But otherwise, I don't see anything close to becoming severe aside from that cell. Taking back the radar, and I'm going to switch the camera back to the bottom left of your screen. It is now crossing, the storm is now crossing M40 corridor. This area south between Lee and Fenville appears to be just some heavier rain now. I think the core of this, the more organized section, is from Obereisel down to about that Allegan area, moving to the northeast here. So continuing off to the northeast, we're going to see, I am still getting used to this radar product, so bear with me. I think we're going to see Dorr and Wayland areas impacted here in about, I'm going to say 30 minutes or so. I think the storm is actually slowing down some. This was moving out 40 or so, but now I think it's a little bit slower than that. So it could be another 30 minutes for you guys over in Dorr and Wayland. Hopkins could be about 20 or so minutes. Any place between there. What road is this? This is going to be 30th Street. Burnups down to about South Monterey and Monterey Center. We got about 10 minutes for you. Will Lowell be okay? For right now, yes. The storm has a long way to go before it gets to Lowell. Now, if more stuff pops up, that could change, but in the immediate short term, you guys are good. New statement incoming further north, Alcona, Iosco. Go ahead and take a peek up there. They're going with, looks like penny size hail or perhaps dime size hail with this. So they're saying that this is moving to the east-northeast at about 30 miles per hour. And it looks like population impacted about 12,800 people. 40 mile per hour winds, and appears to be dime size hail. That is going to be moving toward Mankato, Guston, Harrisville, Greenbush, and the Oscoda Airport there. And that's going to be the immediate impact areas. The storm over here appears to be strengthening as well. This is going to be heading into what county would this be? This is, track this up, Montmorency and Oscoda counties. So keep an eye on those as well. Severe warning continues for another 27 minutes. New scan coming in. Let's go ahead and check out our velocity on this. I think the heaviest of winds appears to be just south of Obereisel. Somebody in chat, is it Overisel or Overisel? Grand Blanc is currently safe. Yes, you got a long way to go. Summer, the chance for anything tornadic tonight is on the lower end of things. It's not impossible we see one. We have a lot of wind shear out there, some spin to work with. But that's just one ingredient. We need lift, we need instability, we need moisture. So we're lacking in other senses, but we have enough shear there that's kind of warranting our attention. So we're going to keep a close eye on it. In fact, the Grand Rapids Weather Service did mention potential for some rotating cells, especially later on this evening. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. Joel and I will be up here. Joel will be joining me on stream here fairly soon. He is driving back from a presentation he was doing. So he'll be joining me here in the studio in a matter of a few minutes, I would have to assume. But we'll be up on the desk for you guys. If we need to go live, we will definitely be doing that. Overijssel. Got it. Thank you. I see a lot of questions continue to filter in for certain locations if they're good for the night. So I will say this once again. Before I do that, they went ahead and continued that warning. They trimmed out the very far southwest corner. Ganges is safe now. South Haven Highlands, South Haven directly. Van Buren County all clear. And the immediate shoreline, Saugatuck areas, Douglas, you guys are all good. But they have continued this warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds, and they kept the tag on there for a possible tornado. This continues at 7:48. Severe thunderstorms located along a line extending 5 miles southeast of Holland to near Allegan, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. They upped the speed on it, which I personally think is slowing down there, but continues to say remain alert for a possible tornado. Tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms. If you spot one, go at once into the basement or small central room in a sturdy structure. So that continues. We are seeing the heaviest of this over the M40 corridor, pushing up into Hopkins and the Door area in about 10 or 15 minutes. Now, zooming back out here, addressing those comments about certain areas and et cetera, I will loop the forecast model one more time for you guys. So this is the latest. There we go. The latest model run here for the rest of the evening. So we're going to start right now. This is your current radar based on the model. Now, pushing this forward into the 10 to midnight time frame, we're going to see an increase of this coverage as it pushes to the east. Again, that continues. Most of it south of Mount Pleasant. We've got a few cells up there to the north. As we continue this toward the midnight time frame, here's 11 p.m. Here's midnight. Notice the thumb now getting the action, lancing into some action. Got some cells here from Mount Pleasant up to Cadillac and Ludington areas. Pushing this further overnight, here's 1 a.m., 2 a.m., Grand Rapids, Mount Pleasant up to about the Alpena area. Here is 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and this is actually trying to make a little bit of a line here throughout the state from about the thumb Port Huron area, or sorry, I say Port Austin, down to about the Berrien County area. So that's going to be a continual line as it progresses to the west, to the east. So, like I said before, if you live in South Central Michigan, the odds that you get rain or a few storms out of the system is quite high. No matter if you're in Detroit or Flint or Lansing, I think it's a pretty equal chance for a strong storm throughout the state and a very high chance we're going to get some type of precipitation out of the system. So that is the expectation. Obviously, weather can deviate and change. It's weather. It's a fluid dynamic, so it's not always going to be 100% correct. But that is the expectation throughout the evening and into tomorrow morning. Back to live radar here. This storm has appeared to sustain its strength. English is hard tonight for me. Goodness. Sustaining its strength here as it pushes now toward 30th Street, toward the Sandy Pines and Hopkins area, toward the Overijssel and Door vicinity. 131 here on the Allegan and Kent County line is on deck for this in about 20 or so minutes. Sherman in chat here says winds just picked up big time north of Allegan by Dumont Lake. Aaron in chat here says starting to get loud in Door. Thank you guys for that report. If you guys have damage, pictures, videos, anything you guys want to report to us, feel free to hop on Facebook, search up Michigan Weather Reports. It is a group. We operate that group. And if you post something into it, we're going to see that post immediately and we can relay information in real time to our viewers. That is how we relay pretty much anything severe that is reported by you guys, our followers. I do not drink coffee, Elizabeth. I do not drink coffee. I am not a caffeine drinker. New scan coming in. Let's go ahead and take a peek at velocity. Make sure we're not looking at, okay. Looking at new scan here. This is 950. Wait for the new scan to pop in. I think we're seeing a little bit of an increase in our velocity here as it pushes toward the Door area. It's not a significant increase at this current time, but one that's going to warrant my attention here. That warning continues for 60-mile-per-hour winds as well as a possible tornado. Joel is about to join us here. So we're going to go ahead and get Joel on here. Again, if you're just tuning in, he was at a presentation tonight. And of course, there it goes. Hello, Joel. You are now live with us.
Hello. Please share.
There you go.
Thank
Now, if this warning drops, Joel, I feel like we should switch off. If you're cool with that.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Okay. In the meantime, though, this warning continues until 8:15. We've got 20 more minutes on this. And that cell does look to be increasing in intensity just a tad. Let's go ahead and check out our latest scan on our winds. I wouldn't say they're indicating severe, but you can definitely tell this general area here does have some increase in your velocity. I'm going to probably guess 30 to 40 miles per hour. Anybody in chat here from this area, Fenville up to Door, that region, let us know what you're seeing in chat. If it's really windy, if it's just some gusty winds, like what exactly is going on there? Turn it back over here to our radar. I want to take it back north for a brief minute for our storms and our friends up here in Iosco County. This is a pretty healthy looking cell over the Guston and Mankato area, heading toward Greenbush and Harrisville. Also want to point out that the camera in Allegan County is being impacted, it appears, by some rain and perhaps that leading edge of that storm. So we're going to switch it over here real quick. It appears via radar this is going to go just north of Allegan. So you're looking at basically the southern edge of the heaviest cell, looking right north into it. Thank you, Robert, for that $2 super chat. Appreciate your support. There is a freeze watch up in the UP. And that basically just means that temperatures are cold enough that we're going to likely see some freezes or some frost for certain areas, especially up in the UP. And by the time we get to Wednesday and Thursday mornings, we're likely going to see some statewide frost, if not some statewide freezes. Temperatures could drop as low as 30, perhaps high 20s in some places. So the coldest air of the season is set to move in still. Elizabeth says Door is not windy yet, but I see a lot of lightning. Thank you for that report. Checking out the velocity here. Winds continue. I'd still say on the weaker end of things, moving into Sandy Pines, heading toward the Door and Wayland areas in about 5 or so minutes. So 131 corridor, I'd say you have about 10 to 15 minutes before impact. And that would be mainly from about Wayland, perhaps just south of Wayland, up in toward the Kentwood area. If I put an animation on this, kind of zoom out there, we're going to see that's moving. Grand Rapids downtown should be safe from this storm that's severe, but you do have another cell over Hudsonville that is producing likely some heavier rains there. So we do have some heavier rain moving in, which we'll accept rain at this point. We're in a drought, so any rain is beneficial. But it looks like the worst of the storm is to the south. The velocity on this one in Hudsonville does not appear to be significant at all. Plainwell further south, you guys are going to miss out. Unless this is taking a right turn here, which I'm going to animate that, making sure it's not. And it kind of is, actually. So Plainwell may get in on some action with the southern cell here. Otsego, Plainwell, perhaps down toward Alamo and Prairieville, Orangeville, Martin areas. I would definitely be on alert with this southern cell. I don't think it is severe. I don't see anything that indicates that it would be severe. There's no VIL on it. There's really nothing here indicating that this is either producing hail or damaging winds or anything rotation-wise. So you should be good there. But yes, heavier rain, perhaps some lightning there for you guys. The cell that has my attention is this band right here. Pop open the draw tool again. That is the cell that has a tremendous amount of lightning, and that is also where we're seeing the heaviest of winds. So you got Dorr right here. We got Wayland down here. Those are the next two cities to be impacted. Hopkins is also down here.
My cam's on.
I was about
Sounds
ready
like.
to ask you that. There we go. There's good old Joel.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and take Aaron's screen full here while we got him up with us. I'm going to try and talk to him here if he's on the radio. Aaron, do you have a location for me? I don't think he's on. There he is. So he is in Wayland. He is in the Wayland area. Go ahead and take back the radar here. So we zoom in here, we're going to see Aaron's dot, his spotter dot as we call it, is positioned right here. This red dot in Wayland, that's going to be Aaron. And as you can see, the storm is moving to the northeast here, so it should clip him here in the next 10 or so minutes. Good lightning there as well in his feed. Joel, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I've been telling most people here that there's likely going to be rain, if not storms, for a good portion, if not all, of lower Michigan tonight into Tuesday morning. But the strong to severe chances, they're kind of scattered throughout. They're not really higher in one spot versus the other. So that's what I've been kind of telling people. So all throughout the night, I've gone over models and future radar and stuff like that. We're seeing an increase in coverage as the night goes on. We actually could see a line develop later after midnight, which may pose a bit of a threat for some gustier winds, some heavier rain, perhaps even some brief rotation. It's not a high chance, but it's not impossible. We see some rotating storms tonight. We're already seeing it here with this warning that has a possible or a tag for a possible tornado on it due to the waterspout that was observed offshore of South Haven. Also want to take note that we do in fact have an outflow boundary that is showing up on radar here. Outflow boundary is outflow winds surging out from a storm, and that can provide enough lift to get additional storms to develop and can enhance wind shear in a localized area. So we'll watch that. There's not a large amount of instability or storm field out there for storms to really pop up with these types of boundaries, but it's not going to be impossible. That's for sure. We'll keep a close eye on that.
Yeah, and as we go throughout the night, Ryan, the cold front's going to slow down just a little bit. And so we do expect some decent amount of rainfall to start falling, primarily between the 96 and 94 corridor, starting overnight tonight into tomorrow. Big rainy day tomorrow for sure for much of central and especially southern Michigan. Again, south of 96 really tomorrow, but overnight tonight should be a good rain event there. It does look like there's multiple lines kind of backfilling a little bit. We could see multiple locations actually over an inch with some of these heavier bands.
And that is much
But
welcomed. Much welcomed.
yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, the rainfall maps that we released earlier today are area-wide averages. So obviously not everyone is going to see over an inch of rain. So we based them on what the area-wide average are going to be. So if you see, for example, I think Lansing was around a 9/10 of an inch. That's just the area around Lansing. You could still see, Mason, for example, see over an inch and a half of rain if you get a isolated cell that kind of sits over the same location, or it trains in the same location. So keep that in mind. Half an inch to a full inch of rain between now and the start of the day on Wednesday, with some isolated spots perhaps seeing up to an inch and a half to 2 inches of rain, which is much needed at a time where we are going into very dry conditions beyond Tuesday.
Joel, I want to take Aaron's stream here full. I'm not sure if you saw that or not, but there was a lightning strike that lit up a beautiful shelf cloud there. So I'm going to pop him off screen and take him completely full for right now. Also take the camera in the bottom left off, and I'm going to switch this over here to Aaron's cam. We'll let it run with Aaron for a little bit. I'll be watching radar here behind the scenes, as will Joel. Currently, this storm is moving into Dorr, Hopkins, and Wayland area. It is on all of your guys' doorsteps here, so you should be inside and away from windows, as 60-mile-per-hour winds is your main hazard, but there also is potential here for a possible tornado. I don't see rotation on radar, which is good news. So that is at least positive news. But in the meantime, the Weather Service continued that tag on here for a tornado because there's enough spin in the atmosphere. It's not impossible. But again, this storm has a history of producing a waterspout offshore of South Haven. Now, if we wait for lightning here to light up Aaron's screen for you guys, you're going to see a nice shelf cloud ahead of him. Now, what a shelf cloud is basically a lot of cool air rushing up and out from a storm, getting pushed out, condensing into a cloud. There it is. That's beautiful. That is gorgeous.
Wow.
So a lot of air just getting rushed out, condensing into a cloud, and it forms like a shelf or like a roll type of look to it. It's really quite aesthetic. It is typically a harmless type of cloud. It can indicate that gusty winds are accompanied. I can't English tonight. Are associated with that thunderstorm, but in this current situation, they're going to go with another severe warning, which is interesting. We'll see what Aaron intercepts here in Wayland. So new warning incoming now. Allegan, Barry, Kent, and Ottawa counties. This is going to be a new warning. We'll go over that here in just a second. I'm looking at areas included. I see Wayland, Middleville, Irving, Freeport, Lowell. That's you, Joel. Gaines, Caledonia, Dorr. I think I already said Dorr. And then Kentwood is just outside, but very close to that warning polygon. Joel, is your screen being shared?
Yeah, it should be the radar.
Perfect. I'm gonna get that up and posted.
Okay. Waiting for the box to load in on my end here. Takes about 30 seconds, but you can see on radar here, it's starting to bow out a little bit. We get a little bit of a bookend vortex signature where top of that line kind of becomes a little bit of a comma. And again, that's where you have a little bit of a low level jet kicking in the backside. We get those Boeing segments. That's where you need to watch out for damaging winds. And that is the reason why we do have now an extension of the severe thunderstorm warning, which reads from the National Weather Service in Grand Rapids, issued for northeastern Allegan, southern Kent, southeastern Ottawa, and northwestern Barrie till 9 p.m. Eastern. 8:05, severe thunderstorms located along this line extending from 9 miles south of Hudsonville to 7 miles southwest of Wayland, moving northeast at a good clip of 40 miles per hour. It is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and it is radar indicated, plus pea-sized tail possible. And they have removed the tornado possible tag. Locations impacted include, well, I think Ryan, you already mentioned them, so I won't go through them again. But again, if you are tuning in, this does include major cities such as Caledonia, Wayland, Middleville, and the edge of Lowell and Freeport. And torrential rainfall is also occurring with these storms. So as I mentioned, a lot of places will see around half to a full inch of rain tonight, and a couple locations within the heaviest of storms could see upwards of 1.5 to 2, which is much needed. So 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is the new box. You can rock it back and forth here. And that does include the Gerald R. Ford Airport. So if anyone is at the airport right now waiting for some flights to come in, there may or already will be flight delays ongoing. The strongest of winds, where the front of that Boeing segment is at, is passing. It's already probably passing over since the radar's updating right now. It's over 21st Street, about to cross 142nd Avenue, right basically in downtown Dorr, similar to some of our storms earlier this year. Right there, 18th Street at 142nd, and a lot of streets in downtown Dorr themselves heading up towards 144th Avenue as well. There's your new update. It is now directly over Dorr.
Could be a bit of a downburst there, looks like, Joel. Looks like it's some kind of backwards velocity coming out of that. Could definitely be a little bit of some gusty winds moving in there.
Yeah. And the center of that bow is heading straight for, looks like Moline, Dorr, Caledonia, and Alto. And if it continues its current track, winds of 60 miles per hour heading directly for me.
Yay, Joel!
Yep.
We do have a camera up in Lowell too, so we should get a good look at this if this does continue off to the northeast. We have several cameras in the path of this storm, actually. This warning's in effect for 51 more minutes, expiring at. Oh, they hit it, didn't they? There it is, 9 o'clock. Yep.
Other warning to the south in effect until 9:15. So this southernmost warning will expire in about 5 minutes, and that is the one that had the tornado possible. And it has undergone a splitting sequence where one storm has gone north and one storm has now gone south. And that outflow boundary, as Ryan was mentioning, will continue to probably pop off some little cells or bigger cells as we go throughout the night, plus redevelopment behind the line along the cold front. Downtown Grand Rapids, you guys are safe from the severe thunderstorm warning. If you're getting alerts on your phone, do note where this orange line goes. Go ahead and pause the radar for you guys. The orange line basically splits Kentwood in half. To the south of it, that is the warning. To the north, you are not in the warning. So if you're at the 131 M6 interchange and points to the northwest, you are not in the warning. But if you're to the southeast, you are. This line goes all the way up to the Grand Rapids Airport and into Lowell and drops south along the Ionia and Berry County, or the Ionia-Kent County line into northern Berry County. All of Middleville in that warning, but Hastings is not. Wayland, Dorr, Moline inside of it 100%. So if you're along 131 south of M6, so from M6 down, about down to the M179 exit, so about 3 miles south of Wayland, you are inside of that warning box, as you can see on the center of your screen, and points off to the east. Box does extend back to the west, but at this point, if you're around Hamilton, you guys are in the clear now. You can see the rain is now off to your east. This is going to be passing over 131 in the next couple minutes. I'm actually going to turn on our bigger roads here. There we go. So damaging winds, they can bring down just as many trees as a tornado would. You want to be taking shelter in an interior room, lowest floor of the building, away from any walls that have trees next to them. You never know. Don't want to take your chances. As you go throughout the night, make sure if you're going to bed to have some way to wake you up in terms of alerts. So Midland Weather Radio is what we always say here. I don't have mine on me, but Midland Weather Radio, it's about $50. You can buy it online for your next severe event, or go to one of your local hardware stores. There's also a bunch of apps you can get. FEMA app or the emergency app by the Red Cross. Customize your alerts that way.
Joel, I was informed a few days ago that the FEMA app is not operational right now.
Oh, well, in that case, emergency by Red Cross. Winds have shifted a little bit. They're now heading due east down, it's like 140th. Obviously, this entire line appears to have some gusty winds, but there's one pocket that exceeds the rest. And it's 140th Avenue right now, just north of Wayland, heading into Moline. Back up to the north, still got some showers and storms up there, but the storms that were in Harrisville and points south are now 90% onto Lake Huron. A special weather statement up there in effect for winds of 40 and some small hail, half-inch in nature. Again, we're expecting this line to kind of fill in throughout the night, get closer to saturation overnight. Again, the temperature gets closer to the dew point. It's a lot easier for showers and storms to develop and cluster up versus during the daytime where there's a lot more dry air at the surface. So, speaking of dry air, as I mentioned, dew points in the 30s this week, which are pretty dry, and even down in the 20s in some locations. So hopefully get some rain out there to soften up the ground, add to the soil moisture, because next 4 days after this, Tuesday through Friday, pretty dry out there.
Yeah, and taking a peek at the long term as well, there's not much in the way of rain chances. So this is our I could say one only shot, but one of our only few shots we're going to have in the month of October, more than
Yep.
likely.
And do note, during the wintertime, just because you get a lot of snow does not mean it's going to fix the drought automatically unless you get a lot of snow. During the winter, you can get snow to liquid ratios of 10 to 1. So that would mean, in that instance, you would need 10 inches of snow to make it the equivalent of 1 inch of rain. So the more rain we can get to fall as actual rain, or precipitation to fall as actual rain instead of snow, the better. So that's why we need a rainy fall now before we get to that winter time period. It's good downpour there on Aaron's cam, now overtaken by the shelf cloud and the rain.
Trying to see how much wind is in there. It's kind of hard to depict here, so I can get a little air.
Trying to see. It does appear. Oh, we got alert coming in.
Yep, new statement coming out for that southern cell heading into Plainwell, Orangeville, and Prairieville.
Ryan, take a look at the WT Forestry Skycam for me, and let me know if you can see a base over there on the right.
You got it. In fact, I can't English tonight, I swear. How about we pop it up full screen? Let's go ahead and
Yeah, it looks like a base to me.
looking over
Good
here.
lightning in there too. Yep, right there. That'd
That
be
would
the
be,
southernmost cell.
yep. Our newest camera here, courtesy of WT Forestry, looking right at the Kalamazoo area. In fact, does that kind of look like a wall cloud to you, Joel?
Does look like it to me. That would not be surprising given today's dynamics out there. A little bit of low level rotation.
We'll put that in the bottom left corner. There you go. I'll get that statement posted as well.
Okay. That Skycam is down here near Scott's.
Pavilion would be the
Believe shows
closer
up on my
town.
radar.
Pavilion, if you got that on your radar.
Or Vicksburg or something like that. I don't know how
Just
Pavilion.
go
I
a
think it's near
little bit north of you. A little bit north of your mouse, yeah, up that vicinity right
Oh,
there.
Scott's is right there. Yep.
Yep. It's
So
just
it's
west
near
of there.
Scott's. Yep. So it's looking to the west and northwest across Kalamazoo County. So it's seeing this cell up in Plainwell and perhaps up there towards Martin, the very right side of the screen there. It's definitely a wall cloud, but good news is I'm not seeing any rotation along this line right now. That's worth noting. Still, we'll keep monitoring it. And shout out to WT Forestry there for the Skycam view in the bottom left corner. Scotts, Michigan. It's their first tower cam. That was literally just installed yesterday, right, Ryan?
Sunday. Yeah. Well,
Sunday.
I guess yesterday.
Yep. The warning back in Allegan County, the first one has expired, so there's no longer a tornado possible tag with the storm. So good news there. But we still got the warning coming into southern Kent County, northwestern Barry, currently traveling through northeastern Allegan County for winds of perhaps 60 miles per hour. That would be the leading threat. Which, as a reminder, 60-mile-per-hour winds is the threshold for severe winds. 1-inch hail, if there were to be 1-inch hail, would be the minimum threshold for severe hail. there was strong rotation, obviously you would see a red box on the screen, which would be a tornado warning, but we are not seeing that right now. Any winds along this line do look to be more downbursty in nature, or straight line winds, as you guys know. And there is some decent lightning with these as well, right along the 131 corridor. Statement hasn't loaded in yet. I gotta do the thing where I flip the radar back and forth.
I can load it in on my end. I got it. Well, maybe I don't.
There we
have
go.
it. There we go. That's your statement. Hastings, Assyria, Prairieville, Plainwell, Nashville. Almost reaching Vermontville, Calamo, and Bellevue. Oh, there it is.
Just one payment for 12 months of rate.
That segment continues to bow out. It's almost wrapped all the way around itself. So a big comma. Sign of some gusty winds surging forward. So Caledonia, you're up next. Cutlerville, Byron Center getting impacted right now. And the M6 corridor between 131 and I-96. That would include Gerald R. Ford International Airport.
I want to say a quick thank you to Red Dozer with the Get to Memberships. Thank you, Red.
Appreciate you, Red. We're longtime donors here. You live along the M37 corridor. So that would be from, that's going to be, I believe, 44th. Yeah, 44th Street south through Caledonia down through Middleville. And where M37 turns at Yankee Springs Road, that is all inside the warning. And you guys have about 5 to 8 minutes of lead time. It's likely already raining at your location, but the heaviest of the winds is still tucked within the heaviest of the rain. So again, Cutlerville, Caledonia, Middleville, next 5 to 8 minutes, if not now. Lowell, Alto, Freeport, Bowen Township, and I believe that's it. All up next beyond Caledonia and Middleville. There, that tan box on the screen is the special weather statement. So that does include all of southern Berry County, includes Hastings, Nashville, and clips portions of northern Kalamazoo County and the far northwestern sliver of Calhoun County. Look back at the severe forecast for today. If you guys missed it, we released it about 1 o'clock this afternoon. From our own in-house forecast, we released a level 2 of 6 severe risk for these storms overnight tonight, primarily for damaging winds. 5 to 15% chance that you see a damaging wind gust within any storm. So if you get a storm, you think about it the other way, if you think about it optimistically, it's an 85 to 95% chance that you don't see a gust. However, 5 to 15% chance is still a chance. So you do want to take it somewhat seriously tonight if you're inside a warning.
Joel.
And gusty winds of 60 miles per hour can bring down some trees. What's up?
Joel, they just re-put the possible tornado tag on this severe warning.
All right.
So they brought it back. I'm guessing because there's a nasty looking like a bow, but then where it curls back in on itself, there is sometimes what's called a bookend vortex. It's like a really interesting feature, but sometimes it can spin something up there. It'd be just south, a little bit east there of Byron Center. Nothing on velocity that screams tight rotation, but the overall feature of the storm is very prevalent of a what could be a tornado producing storm. So I think that's kind of why they reissued that as precaution. But again, severe warning
Yeah.
was just issued or just updated to reflect the tag for a possible tornado to be included again. I'm not seeing too much at this current time yet, velocity wise.
Mm-mm.
I do
Yeah,
not
and
see anything CC wise either.
what you're looking at right now for everyone watching is our velocity radar. So that is, it looks like Christmas colors because it basically is. It's got a lot of reds and greens going on. Where we see these reds and greens close together is where we would see opposite moving wind direction. However, you would need them to be in a certain order and kind of matching up to where this hook would be inside the storm. If you flip it, we would dual panel it here actually, line it up with a marker. You can see there is just a lot of green, which means winds are surging towards the radar site. Remember, the greens are winds moving towards the radar, reds are winds moving away from the radar. And we're not seeing reds and greens really, really close together, nor are they bright. We would see really bright reds and bright greens. We're not seeing that in here right now. But again, with a bookend vortex like this, you can't be too cautious, and hence why they have upped the severe thunderstorm warning to the last level before a tornado warning. Again, if there was any stronger rotation, you would start to see, a tornado warning be issued. But at the current time, as Ryan and I keep mentioning here, not seeing anything in terms of strong rotation.
I'm going to flip this over here to the Lowell camera, as that's going to have a good view here relatively soon.
Mm-hmm.
The Lowell camera in downtown Lowell, courtesy of Rogers Neighborhood Realty. We also have the, is it Ada or Ada?
Ada.
Ada. We also have a camera in Ada,
Yep.
courtesy of the.
Facing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's facing to the north and east, courtesy of Julie Bacon of Preferred Rate. So we'll see as the storm passes over. It's actually directly in line with the storm right by where M6 comes into 96.
Yep.
As the storm passes over there, this will be a good view on the back side of the storm. Could get some good structure shots here soon. That bookend vortex is impressive, but good news is rotation is very minimal at the current time. Good lightning on the Julie Bacon Preferred Rate Ada cam right now.
Is there?
I just saw a good strike.
All right.
There's a lot of cloud to cloud, but yeah.
It's in the bottom left. Anything about Otsego and Plainwell? You're in a statement for some gusty winds. That's about all I can tell you right now. There's nothing too menacing on radar. Pea-sized hail and 40-mile-per-hour winds would be your hazard.
No, Kent County does not need another tornado. They are leading the way this year with, I think it's 5 in the state of Michigan out of the 33. That was a good strike there.
It's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of lightning just popped up near the Grand Rapids Airport. Likely delays ongoing, I would imagine, at this current time. Continue to watch more cells pop up over the lake. They're just starting to get their act together. As mentioned, as we go throughout the night, the temperatures get closer to the dew point, making it easier for the atmosphere to precipitate a little bit, form clouds. And that is precipitation we really need, as we are in a significant wildfire risk throughout I think it's through the end of the month, honestly. And I would not be surprised given the fact that the drought monitor did say we're in a short to long-term drought. And that is anywhere from 3 to 6 months of expected drought here in the state of Michigan. So even if we do get a good start to winter or a decent rainfall during the fall, it likely will not be enough to reverse the drought completely. So we need a lot of rain, gradual over time, for it to soak in without, completely flooding on the surface and just washing off. It's hard, especially in a drought, to get the specific conditions that you need to reverse the drought, if that makes any sense. It's kind of like what's a good analogy? You take all the toothpaste out of a toothpaste container, but you're trying to put it back in, and it's hard to do. So that's the same way with drought. You get into a drought situation, now you got to hope for a nice gradual rain over time, or it's going to flood off and go into the streams and run right back into the lake.
Taking a peek further north as well, we got some cells moving in toward the Alpena area. Could have some gustier winds with those, but not seeing too much of concern up there besides just a brief heavy downpour. It's just south of Hillman and Lachine moving up into Osneek as well as Alpena.
Osneek.
Osneek. I'm going to butcher that every time. Every time.
Yeah, that main cell, as you mentioned, right there on M65 south of Lachine, does have a little bit of gusty winds in it. Perhaps getting close to special weather statement territory, as I am picking up on 40 to 45 mile per hour winds at 3,300 feet off the ground. Current trajectory puts it into Alpena in the next half hour. And Alpena really started the day as well. Had the first special weather statement of the day, and they are continuing to get cells rolling through.
There is a pretty big outage being reported just to the north of downtown Allegan. I'm not going to say it's a huge outage, but it looks like it's at least about 200 or so people.
Pretty cool to see in the bottom left corner there before you switch it, the sky cam, how you see the nice, huge cumulonimbus cloud and then just stars and clear skies all around it. But I'm not seeing a wall cloud anymore, which means it's probably shrouded in rain, or it has since dissipated. So for those just tuning in, we know we have a lot of people jumping in, jumping out. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Kent and Barry and portions of northeastern Allegan County. In effect until 9 p.m. It is likely or possibly producing 60 mile per hour wind gusts, and they have re-added the tornado possible tag. Locations impacted by this severe thunderstorm warning possibly include Kentwood, Wayland, Lowell, Middleville, Caledonia, Freeport, Middleville, I already said Middleville, Gilder Ford International Airport, Dorr, Irving, Moline, Dutton, Cutlerville, Bradley, Green Lake, Alaska, Elto, Byron Center, and Cascade. Hail likely pea size, if any. It'd be anywhere where you see these pinks on radar. That is your very large rain droplets. And when you get those rain droplets super large in a environment about 3 miles above our head that's freezing, it's super cooled liquid, kind of clumps up together, and you get hailstones. So good lapse rates out there tonight. Would not be surprised if we see a little more hail falling in some locations. Yeah, especially as we get further into fall, Ryan, you got a lot of that colder air in the mid-levels of the atmosphere and higher. It's going to allow the lapse rates to kind of increase as we go into the fall and get a lot more hail. And once we start to get freezing precipitation with thunderstorms that don't, or with storms that don't have like a mesocyclone associated, when we start to get that grauple, that wintertime hail, as some people call it.
Yep. It's like a snow cone, or what do they call it? Dippin' Dots.
Yes. Yep.
It's very common in October, November, early December. Not seeing anything on the Lowell camera just yet. Oh, there's some lightning. The current velocity still appears weak throughout this line. So that's good news. The warning continues here for 26 more minutes. Includes Lowell, Freeport, Irving, Alto, Bound Center, Harris
Bound
Creek,
Center.
Emdale, and Seguin, Lowell areas.
Cloud tops on these are only like 25,000 feet, and you can see that when you're in the Scott's cam from WT Forestry there. Those clouds aren't that tall out there tonight. But again, a lot of what's happening with these storms tonight is happening near the surface, including low-level rotation. And so we do have to watch out for sneaky, spinny things, as you would say, across the area. And that is why this severe thunderstorm warning that is currently in effect for southern Kent, northwestern Barre, and northeastern Allegan does have the tornado possible tag on it, even though it doesn't look like a whole lot is happening right now.
Yeah, we have heard about that. 85 acres is on fire up in Houghton Lake area. That was from the DNR earlier today. Hopefully, some of this rain and the cold front will help those conditions. Although, I will say we're going to drop to pretty low humidity values next couple of days. So if we don't get a lot of rain in some areas, it's not really going to help the conditions much.
The orange box is your severe thunderstorm warning. We only have one severe thunderstorm warning in the state. It's color-coded. The bottom bar is color-coded to the warning type. So you can see the high stack alert down there, severe thunderstorm warning, in effect for Allegan, Barre, Kent. And there's your hazards of 60-mile-per-hour winds and a tornado possible. Also scrolling through the bottom bar, special weather statement, Allegan, Barre, Van Buren, and Kalamazoo County. That's in effect till 9:15. Winds down there up to about 40 miles per hour, pea-sized hail possible. We also have a freeze watch out there tonight. A little bit of both worlds. But it's not the first time this year we've seen winter weather alerts with severe warnings. You guys remember back on March 30th, we had that ice storm ongoing at the same time as a severe event down here in the lower portions of the state. So we actually had blizzard warning and severe thunderstorm warning on our bottom crawler at the exact same time. So freeze watch in effect tonight up there in the UP. For temperatures getting down into the 20s in spots. But most places just at or below freezing are possible. Good news is there are no red boxes on the screen. If you saw a red box, that would be a tornado warning. Another fun fact is these alerts are not county-based, so they don't take up the entire county, which is good. Back in, I think it was like 20 years ago, I believe it was, the National Weather Service only able to issue warnings based on county. So if there was 60-mile-per-hour winds in northern Barre County, for example, they would have to issue the entire county in a warning. Nowadays, they can cut corners. Literally, so they cut across county lines. You can see this orange box does not follow the county lines. So it includes portions of Kent, portions of Barre, portions of Allegan, but does not include all three.
Looks like the camera in Ada is getting some rain now. Whoa. Also,
Yeah, and the core of lightning.
Got some planes flying in too.
Yeah, that one actually just passed over my house. I hear it. Yeah, I'm pretty close to that camera there, so right in the way of the airport traffic. That plane's trying to get in underneath the storm right now. coming in from east to west there. Usually their landing pattern, so they're coming right down 96 right now.
So we have a cell also popping up heading into Grand Haven, Norton Shores, Sullivan area. At the current time, that is not strong or severe. Also got some cells popping up over Lake Michigan, heading again toward the Muskegon area. Further south, we have these little bitty cells continuing to develop over the Chicago area. Those will push off to the northeast.
No, so I remember we were talking about the opposite. So the counties don't get the entire polygons. They used to, like if there was like a tiny cell in a portion of the county, it would, so like for example, if this was like 2007, for example, they would have to issue a warning for all of Allegan, all of Barry, and all of Kent, despite the fact that the storm is only in where those three counties meet right now.
Yeah, there's like 3 counties involved with this warning. Another plane coming in. You'll see it here in a second. I can't believe they're letting them fly in under this.
Well,
There it is.
yeah, that's actually the one that passed over the house. Or maybe hold on. I can just listen outside.
Live coverage is turning into plane spotting.
Yeah, well, we got one warning out there. But, people have family members on these flights, wondering if they're trying to get in or if they're going to have to circle around, and they're going for it right now.
Yeah, and I don't see much in the way of any wind with this storm. Like velocity, it's like right by the radar, so you think you get some pretty good data on it, but I don't see anything worthwhile wind wise with it. Actually, Joel, take a look down just south of Prairieville.
Here?
Yeah, it's could be clear air. Might be clear air, but
A cluster.
it's interesting.
Yeah, you got a surface-based cell moving into the region. Again, you have two different storms moving in two different directions. You got to watch that really closely because you can get a quick spin up off of that. But until that occurs, it does not look like it's worth warning. It is close, but you would need definitely brighter reds and brighter greens. That's not close to the criteria yet for a tornado warning. So we'll keep an eye on it. This entire line is kind of one big line of shear right now. All that, it's like a big red snake that extends all the way across Barry County into the southeast corner of Kent. About to move into Ionia County, south of 96. And it's still trying to do a little bit of a bookend vortex in this line, which, as a reminder, north end of the line, bookend vortex. Got to watch a little sneaky rotation there, but overall looks dull at the moment, which is a good sign. Latest scan just came in that those reds and greens are pretty close together down there, but the height on this is 2,000 feet off the ground, so keep an eye on it. As in the special weather statement, anywhere in the orange box is the warning. And I would imagine we're going to see this warning probably drop off within the next 5 minutes as the warning or as the storm outruns the warning box. If anything, I would imagine a statement incoming for Ionia County, probably extension of winds of 40 if I had to take a guess. But I am not the National Weather Service, so we'll leave that to them. Motion vector 242 at 33.
Do you have vectors on statements?
No, only warnings.
Okay. If you need vectors on statements, I got it for you.
Okay. I got 242 at 33 for the warning.
Okay.
The AdaCam is not live. So the only time you'll see the AdaCam is used during our live sphere. So sorry, I should clarify this. It is live. It's not live on our alternate YouTube channel, Michigan Weather Network. It'll only be featured here on our main YouTube page, Michigan Storm Chasers, during severe weather coverage, like right now.
We have a LSR, Joel. 4 reports of downed trees across central Allegan County. Time estimated by radar 7:51. That was via 911 call center. So it looks like we have some damage reports from the earlier warned cell over in the Allegan area. That'd be right by the camera.
Yeah.
But on the camera, I didn't see much in the way of any wind, so interesting. Just goes to show you how localized things can become with weather. I'm gonna go play back just to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Overall, the physical look of the storm in terms of our base reflectivity, which is the measurement of intensity on our rainfall, not that impressive. Again, we're looking for these red spots. I don't even know if that's a word. Red spots here on our radar for the heavier rain, and some pinks where there'll be some pea-sized hail. But other than this new cell that's kind of become surface-based across southern Barry County, there's not a whole lot other than Alto of intense rain yet. But as mentioned on our model runs, we do expect kind of like 2 lines to form, and then it becomes 1 line throughout the night. This is your second line back here, by the way. It's off to the east of Madison, between Madison and Milwaukee. And this will start to fill in overnight. Manistee, Ludington down towards Hart, Oceana, Muskegon County. And we'll catch up to the second line as the cold front slows down overnight and perhaps brings some decent rain to portions of central and southern Michigan. Current time right now is 8:47. Ryan's above me there on stream. He is president of Michigan Storm Chasers. I'm the chief meteorologist here. Joel's my name, and we got you covered here from beginning to end. We are not at the end yet, though. Severe thunderstorm warning does remain in effect until 9 o'clock or until expired for portions of Kent, Barry, and Allegan County.
Interesting.
I think your new chime.
New severe warning in effect. Barry, Eaton, Ionia, and Kent.
Yeah, our weather radio is about to go off here at the house. National Weather Service in Grand Rapids has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Kent, northern Barry, Ionia County, and northwestern Eaton County. There's the weather radio going off the background. Till 9:30 p.m. 8:46. Severe thunderstorms located along a line extending from 6 miles south of Lowell to near Freeport. Moving east at 35 miles per hour, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are the main hazard. Locations impacted include Ionia, Portland, Lowell, Middleville, Lake Odessa, Saranac, Freeport, Gaylord Ford International Airport, Ciboa, Lyons, Muir, Sunfield, Mulliken, Powamo, Clarksville, Woodbury, Alto, Alaska, and Cascade. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Torrential rainfall also occurring with this storm. Make sure to not drive through flooded roadways. And again, this is the front of the storm right here. Is this kind of snake-looking line extends from Alto to Freeport right now. This is about 3 miles away from impacting my house here, so I'm going to keep an eye on it. That's right where the bookend vortex is at. But this is going to be impacting Clarksville in the next 2 to 3 minutes, Saranac next 5 to 7. It's over Freeport right now, and heading into Lake Odessa about 5 to 10 minutes. There's a new severe thunderstorm warning extension. As a reminder, those winds coming in from across Allegan County, 4 different downed trees reports across Allegan County right now from the 911 call center. So we have had confirmed damage with the storm, despite the fact that it looks kind of meager at best on our velocity radar. Again, we're looking for these brighter reds and brighter greens. They're there, but the radar is depicting 30 to 40 mile per hour winds instead of 60. So sneaky 60 mile per hour winds happening within the storm. And there's our first thunder rumble. Well, you really don't hear the thunder until it's about 5 miles away. And then it's everything. Deep, very deep rumbling out there tonight.
I'm a little surprised they're continuing the warning based on radar presentation. What about
Yeah.
you?
That's what I was just saying. Like, it doesn't look the greatest, but again, it's confirming damage across Allegan County. So you do want to take this semi seriously here. Alert just came across my phone. That was the emergency app by the Red Cross. So that definitely works. And I am in a good spot in the house where I shouldn't be affected by falling trees. So watching this very closely. We also have the storm down to the south of Hastings. Still has some reds and greens on it, but it is out in front of the main batch of precipitation. So it's good there. It's more of a shear line than rotation. So we love to see it, but we do need these winds to die and stop producing damage because a lot of people I know want to go to bed, but we are not there yet. And I do believe we're going to have a decent night ahead of us of some strong to severe storms. So especially as they fill in. But if this line can fall apart, I might get a break for a little bit, as there's no other cells that really look bad in the state right now.
There appears to be a roll cloud moving on to the Ludington area. So I just want to take this real quick.
Yep, go for it.
Pop my bar off the screen there and remove this. Moving off of the lake here into Ludington, looks like a what's called like a tsunami cloud or a roll cloud.
I have to, yeah, there you go.
There we go. I thought it was cool at least.
Is the graphic up for that new warning? Yes, it is. So you follow us on Facebook or X. These posts are made automatically. Feel free to follow us. Our username is @MIStormChasers. Again, if you follow us on X specifically, you do get post notifications when these alerts come through, as well as if you follow the National Weather Service, your local National Weather Service, they also post those alerts. Feel free to give them a follow.
Joel, starting on next Monday, the 13th, we are
Yes.
opening a brand new broadcast channel on Facebook. What a broadcast channel is essentially is it's like a messenger. If you guys use Facebook Messenger, that's a one-way messenger for us to use and send our posts out or anything we want out to you guys. Facebook is now letting us do more than one, so we're going to utilize a second broadcast channel to push all of our posts that we post on Facebook out. So if you guys want to be notified when we post anything, from our muggy meter to our text post to warnings when they come in, or even some Aurora stuff, this broadcast channel is for you. By finding it, you go to the page, you should see a broadcast channel or channels tab to click on, and you can find something called like our post or something like that, or post notifications, post alerts. I think it's called post alerts is what it's called. And you can click on that and join. and I'll be starting on Monday.
How the lol cam's looking right now. Go
I
see.
can
Good
check.
downpour. And the wind is whipping the flags a little bit. Although, yeah, into the storm a little bit. We're looking south there, bottom corner of your screen. That is looking south into the storm. The winds are blowing out of the north there. Ooh, good lightning.
I also want to take note and mention that the full moon is tonight. As you can see here, again, one of the new cameras. This is in Ann Arbor, courtesy of Ace Aviation at the Ann Arbor Airport. You can see the moon, kind of looks like the sun, honestly. It's so bright in the sky. But that is going to be full here in about 2 hours, about 3 hours actually. 11:49 tonight is the official time of the full moon. So feel free to hop out and take a peek at it. It is ginormous and bright in the southern sky.
And going back to the Lowell camera there, that is sponsored by Rogers Neighborhood Realty, downtown Lowell.
Your Facebook
Oh,
feed
reds.
keeps messing up. That is a Facebook issue. It is a problem across the board, any page you go to. We've had posts missing, posts like when we went live here, and I was refreshing the page like 2 or 3 times, and our automated warnings were not popping in, but the guys behind the scenes were like, "Oh, it's working." I couldn't see it. I'm just sitting here refreshing. So it's been like that for a couple of weeks. Sorry, Joel.
You're good. I was just denoting on radar the reds appear to be intensifying a little bit, which means as these winds move away from the radar, they're getting stronger. Higher up you go. We'll have to keep an eye on it. It's tricky. Especially as these storms approach Lansing. That's kind of in between our radars, so it's going to be a kind of no man's land out there. So if you're downstream, if you are in Eaton County and eastern Ionia County, do want to be on alert for some winds, perhaps severe, of up to about 60 miles per hour. Severe warnings are denoted in the orange boxes on your screen. You can see that includes portions of Kent, Ionia, Barry, and the warning still in effect for portions of Allegan, although at the current time there's no cells to be concerned about in Allegan County. So if you're in Allegan County, you're good for the time being. Until more storms move in. More thunder.
Our next camera here is going to be, I believe, Charlotte. Yeah,
Or Westphalia.
Westphalia or Charlotte, yeah. Westphalia is on a collision path with that warning currently. So we'll keep a close eye on that. And then Charlotte's going to be on the southern cell. We do have a gap in camera coverage. We will not have a gap soon because we have a sponsor. I'm not going to say who it is yet, but somewhere in Eaton County who is due for cameras in the next couple of days. So we will see.
Just as a reminder, we do have, I think it's just over 2 dozen of those cameras now live on our other YouTube channel, Michigan Weather Network. If you guys want to watch those 24/7, 365 days a year, go ahead and subscribe to that one. Otherwise, we do have a network of over 60 cameras now here at MSC. The ones that are not live 24/7, you can find exclusively here during our live severe weather coverage. So make sure you're subscribed today or following us on Facebook. I am now experiencing the rain. It is very heavy. I can hear it through my noise cancellation headphones.
Yeah, Drew joining us in the top right of your screen. I'm going to try and get a location on him. Drew, if you're watching this, nope, never mind. He's in Hastings.
Hastings.
Hastings. Just a bit gusty in the town of Lowell. Is it city or town? Village.
City.
City of Lowell. Okay.
I'm right underneath this entire line right now. It is just very, very heavy rain right now. Can you hear that through my microphone?
I cannot, no. Ooh, check this out. Bottom, I'll go ahead and bring this full here. What is that line? It's like an inflow tail or like a,
Is that a Westphalia cam?
yeah. Go ahead and take a look at that. Go ahead and bring my radar back up while you do that, but interesting.
You see that?
So this cell, or this line, should I say, is moving into Lake Odessa as we speak. Woodland areas, Saranac, heading down 96 here between 96 and the M50, M43 corridors. Mulligan, Sunfield, Woodbury, heading up toward Portland and eventually Westphalia. Some gusty winds are likely with the storm as it progresses. And backing out, taking a look at the reflectivity across the state. Cells continue to develop over Lake Michigan. We have some now rain falling over in the Paw Paw, Hartford, Benton Harbor areas. And then also have a pretty heavier cell up here in the Sullivan area just east of Muskegon. Perhaps a bit of a downburst going on there just east of Muskegon, very weak in nature. And then further north, got some cells popping up just offshore of Manistee, Ludington. Got a cell inland near Baldwin. And then further north into the Gaylord region, we have some light rain showers scattered throughout the Kalkaska, Frederick areas. A lot of it's just clutter right now. But over here by Alpena as well, down here in Alcona County, got some cells moving on to Lake Huron in the next couple of minutes. So really the only concern or anything heavy or severe is going to be right within this heart of Ionia County, as well as Berry, moving into Eaton, as well as Clinton County. I believe it's Clinton County. Get that right? It's been a while. It's been a while. It is Clinton County. Okay, I got it right.
Believe that horizontal line across the sky is either some sort of failed attempt at a shelf cloud or it honestly could be a roll cloud. It's some sort of horizontal shear segment here that's very, very interesting. And I have not seen anything like that in my life, honestly. I think it's just the size of it. It's very, very small. We'll get a better image of that when it comes into frame, but it does look like it's some sort of failed either roll cloud or shelf cloud attempt. It's a lot of winds rolling horizontally across the atmosphere tonight. And with spin with height, that can induce some rotation. You get vertical shear and horizontal shear mixed together. That is when you can get quick spin ups. So pretty neat to look at. We are hoping for the best tonight, hoping that no tornadoes occur. And the odds of a tornado tonight are less than 3%. But again, it's not zero. And here in Michigan, we really just kind of defy the odds all the time. So take that as you will.
The Westphalia camera will be in the bottom left corner of the screen. That's courtesy of Water and Soil Management Systems there in Westphalia.
Yeah, that's our storm right there. That's the front of it. It's just our camera has such a long view. It looks like it's closer. But occasionally you'll see some flashes of lightning in there. There's a big lightning strike. Our instability values really tell us how likely it is to get some decent lightning out there. And let me see if I can find. Did I have it open somewhere? Let's go to Meso. We have a decent amount of mid-level mixed layer cape. Surface-based cape is really interesting. However, the models have the cape actually going up throughout the night. Not sure if you saw that, Ryan.
I did not see that.
Surface-based instability goes from right now 250 to 500, maybe 750 throughout the night, and becomes more uncapped, which is why we're going to get these storms start to kind of congeal into lines throughout the night. So that would make sense, but it's very interesting that we're seeing this kind of happen the opposite direction tonight, where you have less cape now and then there'll be more cape later.
The Ionia camera is there, but it's on the north side of the storm. Not going to have a good view on it, unfortunately. They went ahead and continued that warning just for 60-mile-per-hour winds. They dropped the possible tag for a tornado.
I don't think. Are you talking about for this newest warning? I don't think I ever had one.
Okay, maybe it didn't, but they just trimmed it
No,
back
it
then.
didn't.
I thought
Yeah,
it
so
did.
Kent
But
County is in the clear. No, that was the Allegan Berry Kent County one. So our second of the three.
Ingham County is not under a warning. There's nothing in effect for Ingham County or Lansing at this time.
Correct. Yeah, so what we're showing you is real-time data. No need to make false reports in chat. Again, severe thunderstorm warnings are where the orange boxes are on screen. Right now, that is currently only Ionia County, as well as the far northwest sliver of Eaton and northeast sliver of Berry. You know, I bet I know what happened here is Eaton County is part of Lansing. And so some apps do push out alerts if just portion of the county is involved in a warning. But I can tell you right now, as you can see on the map here, it's only this tiny, like 10 square mile sliver where it includes Sunfield and Moulkin is where there's a warning in Eaton County. 97% of the county of Eaton is not in a warning. And that does include Lansing. So the warning continues primarily for Ionia County, is for 60-mile-per-hour winds only, with hail less than pea size. It expires at 9:15. Sorry, 9:30. I was looking at the statement for a second. I think the statement expires at 9:15. It does. Why is Ryan all blurry right
I'm
now, like an episode of True
searching for my
Crime?
camera. I'm shaking my head. I can't find my own feed. I know where it's at. I can't find it.
If you put your hand up to your camera, usually it autofocuses, or something like a piece of paper.
Yeah, I'll just do this instead. Whoa. Well, you guys can get a nice what? Alright. Well, let's take Joel's screen back. I'm about to just fix this manually. Give me a second.
Sweet. Right now, gusty winds of 40 plus, perhaps moving through Woodland and Lake Odessa, Woodbury, Sunfield, Mulliken. Next 0 to 6 minutes here. Most of these gusty winds staying south of Ionia, south of Saranac. So apex is going right down 96 and points south. Gotta try like the paper technique.
I might try the refresh technique.
Or that.
There we go.
Deactivate, reactivate. There you go.
I'll go ahead and pull up that line across the sky is still there. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the Charlotte cam. We're getting close to that neck of the woods. Not that one. We have so many cameras now, it's sometimes hard to locate the correct one. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
So in the bottom left corner of your screen there is the Charlotte Fire Department cam. This one actually is live currently at Michigan. Or actually, I misspoke. It is not live currently, but it was. There is some technical work being done on this camera and the connectivity to it. So in the meantime, it is down, but it will be back up once that is finished. But this is looking to the west-northwest out of the west end of Charlotte. Thank you, Pam and Dennis, member for 15 months. Message says, hoping for some rain into it. I think we're all hoping for some rain at this point. We are in a pretty bad drought, especially if you're south of Houghton Lake area. I'm sure they would, Integrity. I'm sure they would. We just have everything alphabetically ordered right now, so we just kind of think about it that way. But we can probably organize it a bit better.
Pam and Dennis Hall back for month number 15, hoping for some rain in DeWitt. It's heading your way. It's looking like it's staying together, but we saw the storm split once tonight, could do it easily again, but right now it's coming back together. So thank you, of course, for becoming a member for another month. If you would also like to support the channel, again, it's totally optional to do, but everything does help. So if you'd like to hit the join button here on YouTube, feel free to do so. You can become a member for as low as, I believe it's $2.99 a month or pennies a day. Even if you support freely, monetarily, we appreciate it all the same. So thank you guys very much for liking, following, sharing the content tonight. It's the best way to support the channel for free if you do. Cells continue to pop up. That cell that popped up in Grand Haven is now well inland over Ravenna, and it kind of looks like it exploded like a grenade, just out in all directions. It's very interesting. One cell becomes 5, and we also have another downpour moving into Norton Shores and Grand Haven. More downpours on the lake as this line continues to fill in. Up to the north, line number 2 starting to fill in as well near Manistee. More cells continuing across northern Michigan, Otsego, Montmorency County, and over towards Alpena as well. I hear you beeping over there, Ryan. Yeah. So if you're tuning in from Kent County, you guys are no longer in this warning. If you're tuning in from Lansing, you are not in a warning. So if your phone says otherwise, you can disregard it for now. The orange box on your screen is looping through is the live severe thunderstorm warning. So if I go ahead and pause it, the most recent scan, it includes portions of Eaton, Northern Barry, and most of Ionia County from Ionia south, but does not include anywhere in the Lansing metro. This continues its path off to the east-northeast. Will be impacting Portland in the next 5 to 7. Westphalia in the next 6 to 10. Fowler probably closer to 15 minutes. It is moving relatively slow off to the northeast at about 30 miles per hour. Statement has expired for Barry County. So we're now down to 1 alert in the state. Besides our 20 freeze watches up there in the UP. You heard us correctly, as a freeze watch. Not, it's kind of rare, but we have seen it a couple times so far this year, specifically back on March 30th, where we had severe thunderstorm warnings and blizzard warnings on the same day. Now we're getting back into fall. Likely see a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings with frost advisories, freeze warnings, freeze watches.
Hey, Joel, I want to take a note on these storms.
Yes, go for it.
I can take a page out of GR2 with this new software, and I'm kind of obsessed with it. But if you take a peek at how tall these storms are, like a 3D slice, they are not that tall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like 25,000.
I would not even that, like 13 to 15, maybe 20,000 that peak there with the course. These are not very tall storms at all. So what that
the Silhouette's rate over Ionia is topping out at 35,000. But other than that, everything is 27,000 or less, according to the Echo Top product. Another thing to note is we are really close to the radar, so some of this stuff could be above the radar beam instead of underneath. Over here on YouTube, $10 super chat from Dan E saying, "Good job, dudes." Thank you very much, Dan, for your support. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Hopefully everyone has found this severe weather stream useful. The winds are now barreling down into Sunfield, crossing over Sunfield Highway and Petrie Road, going right down Clarksville Road into Portland. The road's traveling right down 96 and points south, as well as M43. Eagle, Grand Ledge, Westphalia going to be in the next 10 to 15 minutes. And that does include our Skycam down there in the bottom left, or it was in the bottom left, of Westphalia, which is again courtesy of Soil and Water Management Systems. If you would like to become a camera sponsor, again, forms are closed right now, but we'll still take serious inquiries. You can email Ryan. Email can be found in our Facebook description.
It is Ryan, RYAN, at MichiganStormChasers.com.
Yes. So as these storms head into the 127 region, for example, we do not have too many cameras there. Westphalia is kind of our last camera in the line of defense in terms of nearby cameras. Otherwise, next we have to wait for, I think, a lot of our Genesee, Saginaw, Shiawassee County cameras, which is pretty far away. But
Yep. Next camera there would be Burton or Grand Blanc.
Flushing, I believe.
You know what? I didn't add those to the map here.
Yeah. That is going to be Bigfoot Pro Services, I believe.
Hey, I got to add those to the map tomorrow. I did not do that. We also have a camera in Howell now, but I think that's going to be a little bit too far south for these storms.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, at least the hope is we're going to let this warning expire here. We can take a break and get ready just in case to go live a little bit later on this evening.
Mhm.
There is potential, I'd say pretty much throughout the early part of the night, up to about 2 a.m. or so. It could be a stronger storm or two. Perhaps later than that. We have a couple models indicating a line develops after midnight and pushes across the state. That could contain gusty winds as well as some brief rotation. It's not a large scale or widespread severe concern tonight, but could get one or two storms that decide to go rogue and take advantage of some instability and some wind shear. So we'll be up watching, we'll be up monitoring just in case. In the meantime, this warning is set to expire here in about 10 minutes. It continues for 60-mile-per-hour winds, Portland, Ionia, Puamo, Lyons, and the I-96 corridor from about Portland over to the storm currently in Tremaine Corners area.
Definitely an aggressive, some semi-aggressive atmosphere out there tonight with temperatures swinging from 80 to 50 in some spots, especially overnight when it gets cooler out. Some places could go from 80 to the 40s here in the span of hours. So quite the temperature drop for tonight. And then we get 60s all week. Again, we're talking about now, and now is the time where we have that sharp gradient cutoff in the cold front. And often we have these cold fronts that are aggressive like this with the temperature difference. You can and will get a low-end all-hazard risk, similar to today. And yes, back to the camera thing. You can become a sponsor if you have a residence. Winds, I'm getting winds of about 40 still. Sunfield to Portland. Below severe limits. And again, as we get further away from the radar, the beam is just getting further and further off the ground. So it's going higher and higher into the storm, picking up winds that are faster and faster. They're actually not closer to the surface.
The moon is so bright tonight that some of our cameras look like it's daylight.
I remember that last night.
This is our Chelsea camera, courtesy of Mirestone Ranch. And that is the moon and the stars. But these cameras are so powerful that it's essentially daylight outside. If I take the warning bar off the screen, you can see the shadows of the trees. Like it's legitimately daylight out there. But it's not. Taking a look at those cells up by Muskegon, Newaygo area. Not seeing too much there besides just some heavier rains. Velocity looks pretty unimpressive. There's no hail tracker, nothing with that as well. It's just
Got a new pocket of lightning at least.
mhm.
You're watching Southern Newaygo County. Did you jump out of your chair? Because I just saw like 13 strikes show up at the exact same time here, specifically near Kent City and Grant. Feel free to let us know where you're watching from tonight, how you enjoyed your summer day out there, the last bona fide summer day, temperatures in the 80s. Again, we'll get some summer weather back next weekend. Won't be in the 80s, but still mid 70s, still comfortable. Light downpour in Sunfield. Thank you for that. Got about 6 minutes left here on the severe thunderstorm warning for Ionia, northern Eaton, northern Barry. A lot of lightning in Ionia right now. Wind-wise, switch over to velocity. We're looking for the brighter reds. Brightest of reds are right on Emory Road near Nelson Road, just south of Portland, about a mile. These winds are gusting from 40 to 45 miles per hour, according to radar. Warning says 60, of course. So again, severe winds not out of the question right now for the next 5 minutes in Ionia County. But clock is ticking. We are getting closer by the minute. You know, anyone in Clinton County, feel free to share this information with them. Severe thunderstorm is barreling down. If there were to be an extension of this warning, it would be Clinton County. So Westphalia, Fowler, DeWitt, St. John's, Eagle. Eagle's has been hit hard this year. The storm is heading right for him again. Continues to expand north, maybe get closer to Maple Rapids, Elsie, and perhaps Ashley again for I think the third or fourth time this year as well. Remember, I swear, sometimes like when I say a city name, Ryan, it feels like you've said them
Don't
so many
jinx it.
times this year.
Don't jinx it.
No, I'm not trying to jinx it. I'm just saying, like, it just feels like we've said certain cities so many times this year.
Yeah, we have.
Is that the smallest downburst or what? And M21 there. That's Saley's Road, or sorry, Sales Road, Turkey Trail. No, it's late out, but if anyone's biking on the Fred Meyer Grand River Valley Trail, not a good place to be right now. Trail extends from Lowell down through Ionia, Lyons, Pewamo, all the way to the east towards St. John's and into Owasso. The storm is heading pretty much right down it. M21 and the river trail. A lot of lightning still in that line. You can see all the strikes within the last 2 minutes there on the screen. Still a strong storm at the very least. But we should be good soon. Keep an eye on these storms in Muskegon County because, again, where you see those brighter reds, brighter pinks, those are your bigger rain droplets. And it's easier for those bigger rain droplets to become cooler, super cooled liquid faster than the smaller counterparts. So watch out Muskegon for maybe some small hail. In fact, GR2 is picking up on perhaps hail up to 4.4 inches in diameter. It's not severe by any means, but that could expand greatly in the next scan or two.
If you guys got video, feel free to send us a message on Facebook or a picture. That's fine too. If you guys have reports, damage, tornadoes, hail, drop it in our group, Michigan Weather Reports.
Everything besides damage reports can be sent to our other group community page, I should say. There's 2 community pages. So if you go to Facebook right now and type in Michigan Weather Reports, that's for your severe damage. And if you have general weather questions, you have a cool cloud you want to share, Michigan Storm Community. Both of those groups are 3 words, easy to remember. If you forget them, you can rewind the stream or just ask us at a later time. Or the mods will help you out in chat because they are awesome. They have all the links right there. And I will say YouTube is a good viewing experience because that is where all the links are shared during our live streams. YouTube.com/@MIStormchasers. Holy lightning. Rain south of Lansing is going to be later tonight. Almost everyone in southern central Michigan will see some sort of rain. You guys missed our precipitation map from earlier today. We released it at 1 o'clock. So head back to our X, Facebook, or Instagram page. Check it out. Those totals through Wednesday morning. Between about a half an inch to a full inch of rain, primarily from 96 down to 94 and points east and a little bit north up into the Tri-Cities and the Thumb. Again, 0.5 to 1 full inch, some isolated spots up to about 1.5 inches or 2 inches.
Joel, we got a camera sponsor in chat here, Crystal Lake House, saying weather's just hitting us in Portland.
Heck yeah.
Bottom left of your screen is the Crystal Lake House camera, courtesy of Crystal Lake House, and they're in chat here. So say hi, everybody, on Facebook.
And Crystal Lake is in Montcalm County.
Yep.
Good news.
The warning has been dropped or expired.
See, the bottom bar is no longer orange. It is now the next highest active alert, which is, yes, a freeze watch. And some of you guys sitting here in southern Michigan in 80 degrees right now are like, what? And again, as I remind you, cold front has already gone past in the Upper Peninsula. Overnight temperatures tonight into 30s. Some places getting down into the mid to upper 20s. So if you're in the Upper Peninsula, make sure you want to bring in your sensitive vegetation tonight, especially those plants not susceptible to the freeze or to prevent them from dying. Watching that cell in Muskegon, between Muskegon and Grand Haven, it's kind of just been blossoming up gradually over the last 10 to 20 minutes. Cloud top now over 30,000 feet. Anywhere you see these green specks are 30,000 feet tall clouds. Echo top radar here. Switch back to our normal rain now. All of our warnings appear to have expired. They have. Still, if you're in Clinton, Eaton, Ingham County, the Lansing area, do be on alert. We could see some extensions of some special weather statements, which are a step below a severe warning. Kind of like the last step there. Anything else to report power outage wise, Ryan? The winds have been kind of sneaky out there tonight.
Yeah, there's been no new reports since the Allegan outage earlier. It has been pretty quiet. And yes, I said the Q word. Quiet. That's good. Do you want to wrap this thing up?
Yeah, we should be good. Again, just a heads up to Clinton County, winds could be in excess of 30 to 40 there. You can see the brighter red still moving in. But there are no warnings in effect. And when that happens, usually make a executive decision here. Because again, we track from beginning to end, so we want to make sure we're live during all severe warnings, but there's no warnings in place. And we are now at the end of the beginning to end. So if more warnings pop up, we'll probably be back, or we will be back live, of course. Again, we haven't missed a warning since the start of 2024. But for now, Ryan, I believe we are set. And if we get a warning in the outro, then we'll be good. But also, can't forget our sponsors.
We have several sponsors.
Go ahead.
We have several sponsors to shout out. These sponsors help keep operations rocking and rolling, as well as provide services to you guys in the event you happen to need their services. Starting with StormGuard, roofing and construction based out of Metro Detroit area. We have Lifestyle Exteriors based in the Lansing area. Katz Roofing and Siding in Potterville. Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding up in the Thumb, Michigan, Sanilac and St. Clair counties. McKay Tree Specialist, all of Southeast Michigan. Kuiper Tree Care over in West Michigan. If you guys do have tree damage from today's or tonight's storms, over in Allegan County, Kuiper Tree Care would be your go-to contact. FBI Buildings for all of Michigan barn dominium needs. On Top Roofing in Southeast Michigan, be Livingston County area, I believe. Schneider Commercial Building Solutions for any commercial building or roofing solution needs across Michigan. Shield Public Adjusters for insurance adjusting or claim help needs. Top Gun Roofing Exteriors over in West Michigan. A-Class Construction Restoration of Mason County. Rainbow Restoration of Kent County and surrounding areas. Our communication sponsor, Rapid Radios. Our Skycam sponsor, Guardian Technologies. American Arbor for the Southwest Michigan tree care needs. Apex Restoration based out of Grand Blanc. And lastly, feel free to donate to the Ronald McDonald House of Detroit. All of these guys who I just listed off are our trusted partners as well as sponsors here at MSC. We'd like to thank them for being a part of what we do here, helping support us, as well as giving back to you guys in the event you happen to need their services. So it is a win-win for us all. With that said, if you want to become a sponsor, we have sponsorships that are now open for the 2026 storm season as well as winter season. If you have like a lawn or a snow care business, if you want to get some advertising out there and become a trusted partner here, send us a message. Let's go ahead and talk that out and we can get partnered up for the winter. And again, next year as well, we are looking for storm season 2026 partners and sponsors as well. Feel free to direct message the page or alternatively email Chandler. Chandler at MichiganStormChasers.com is the email. That is Chandler at MichiganStormChasers.com. Anything to close out there, Joel?
Not weather related, I guess aurora related. If you're trying to see the aurora right now, given that full moon occurring tonight, good luck. The sun is still active right now, but that moonlight with, what's the percentage right now? It's probably like 80, 90% illumination.
Nope, it is like 99.7% illumination.
99.
It is,
Yeah.
we're 2 hours away from the full moon.
It's like having the sun out essentially right now. So aurora chances kind of low for the next couple of weeks until we can get closer to a new moon essentially and get less nighttime illumination. But yeah, as mentioned, if you haven't liked and subscribed or followed yet, make sure to do so. We do this all the time right here at Michigan Storm Chasers. Haven't missed a warning in almost 2 years. So whenever there's a warning anywhere in the state, any 83 of those counties, we'll be here to cover it for you guys. Unless, of course, technical difficulties gets in the way. So I'm going to knock on wood and say that never happens. But we'll always be here. If not, we'll be posting on our social media pages, Facebook, X, you name it. Username and all is at MIStormChasers. So that is all I have to say. We'll be back live for part 2 if needed.
With that said, we'll see you guys hopefully not tonight, but we'll be back on Monday if need be. Stay safe.
See everybody.